Paranormals, it's Hailey, Reese, and I hope that you guys are having a fantastic morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is for you when today's video finally reaches you. Today's video is incredibly creepy to me and really just brings me back to my days in school and the paranormal or haunted or terrifying trends that were occurring. And it's almost so eerie to me how much darker these trends have become, clearly or evidently to me from what I've heard as of lately since when I was a kid. Before we get into today's video though, I would just very quickly like to remind you guys that I have launched new merch. These are the Believe hoodies, and in my personal opinion, they're my favorite hoodies I've released to date. I feel like they're so simple but so cute, and I love the message behind them. So if you guys would like to get a Believe hoodie of your very own, the link will be down in the description, and I cannot wait to see you guys wearing them. But, alright, I don't even really know where to start with today's video. It's kind of one that I feel the need to make in hopes that if any of you watching today's video may or may not hear of this game or think about playing this game, maybe you'll reconsider. And, you know, I guess I kind of just want to start with the fact that when I was in school, it was so normal to seek thrills and to seek fear. And what I mean by that is throughout elementary school and even high school, so many people were constantly, especially at sleepovers, looking for a scary thing to do or to try. And a lot of the big ones for me when I was in school, well, not for me personally, but for my peers when I was in school, was Bloody Mary, which absolutely terrified me, and Ouija boards. They were kind of the two main things alongside with just telling scary stories and like haunted stories and trying to scare one another. But those were like the main two. I remember that in elementary school, people who couldn't get their hands on actual Ouija boards would create their own, and that everybody would kind of try to play Bloody Mary at some point or another. It was just the trend to do. And so a couple of months ago, I received an email from a student telling me about this new trend or game that the kids in her school were playing. And it was really eerie to me, and I actually responded back to that email and gave my best advice, advising them not to play it. But then as of lately, I've received other emails from other emails and other people saying that in their school and in their areas, kids are playing a game of a similar nature. And it just led me to really think about the concept of the game, the principle of the game. And in doing so, I felt like it was so important to, number one, share the reasons why this game could be potentially incredibly dangerous, and number two, just talk about this trend and see what you guys think of it and whether or not you guys have heard of it. So with that being said, I think I'm going to start by reading you guys the first email and then read you a separate email that was very recent, and then get into my thoughts on this trend, on this game, and just the whole thing in general. All right, so the first email reads, "Hi Hailey, my name is Deanna and I'm in 8th grade. Everyone at my school is doing what I can only say is a trend lately. At my school, we all find trends and get on them. I guess it's kind of peer pressure, but I don't know. Either way, here's what we do. You go into a bathroom and turn off the lights. Then you run a tub full of water. Then you put either your cell phone or camera filming to catch what's next, and light a candle by the mirror. Then you stare straight into the mirror and repeat. Water is portals, but so are mirrors. I give you my body to prove you are here." And then you repeat 3 times, "Take over." And you wait for a spirit to possess you. I feel like this might be dangerous, but since I've never really seen it anywhere besides my school, it's probably not real. Would it be okay for me to try it? I love you, PS. Guys, I'm just going to repeat that one section. Actually, I'm just going to repeat the principle and then the section. So in essence, they will run a tub full of water, light a candle, and turn off the bathroom lights, they're already shut off, and look into a mirror and repeat, "Water is portals, but so are mirrors. I give you my body to prove you are here, take over 3 times? Okay, so before I get into like this whole entire game and this trend that's supposedly going on, I'm gonna read you guys an email that I received a few days ago. And that says, it's very short and sweet, but it's very similar. Hey Hailey, I've never sent an email to a YouTuber before, but I wanted to ask you something. In my school, kids are playing a paranormal game that everyone is saying to do, and it has to do with water, mirrors, and asking a spirit to possess you. They say if you don't do it, you must be some sort of a chicken. Have you ever heard of this? And terrifyingly enough, I had. And crazy enough, it wasn't just these 2 emails. I would say there's probably around maybe 4 or 5, and they don't all detail the same thing. Like only one of them, I think, ever said the actual chant to say like the whole, water is portals, so are mirrors. I give you my body to prove you were here, take over. Only one email has actually said that, but they all have a very similar thing in common. And that is the concept of running a bath in the pitch black, lighting a candle, and asking via either mirror or water for a spirit to come through. And while you film it, you hope to get possessed to prove that ghosts are real. I'm laughing because I'm so incredibly uncomfortable, and it just pains me and terrifies me to think that that would ever be a game, especially in 8th grade or in elementary school, but just in general. Because for those of you who have been on my channel for a while, you guys would know that mirrors and water very well can be portals and paranormal hotspots. And at times, they're vessels for spirits to come through. And to ever think of somebody chanting out while there's a bath drawn and a mirror there for these portals to open up to a spirit and offering your body is just so terrifying, because demons need permission to enter anything. Demons, oh, I'm getting chills, require permission. And while so many people could play these games and have no results, it terrifies me to ever think of or imagine somebody playing a game like this, or even just chanting out like this, and an entity coming forth and utilizing that invitation as permission to possess them. And there's something that I want to make super clear, you guys. I am by no means saying that by playing paranormal games or using a Ouija board or summoning Bloody Mary, you're guaranteed possession. In fact, it's very rare. But my number one thing is I just want to advise that it has happened and could happen. And while there's plenty of people who play Ouija boards and have positive experiences or perhaps no experiences, there are people who have had traumatic, terrifying ones. And it comes down to where there is light, there is always darkness. Where there are good spirits, there are bad. And I don't think it's always a bad thing to do what you think is best for you in your paranormal journey. If you want to play these games, if you want to challenge it, go right ahead. But just be aware that it's not always of good. And that's what scares me about kids in elementary school doing these things, is because a lot of kids don't necessarily know the potential, even if it is rare, the potential repercussions of things like this. And there's a lot of people who will play Ouija boards and not know that you have to close out the game. There's people who will summon things not understanding that demons require invitations. So in the odd chance that you're summoning something, you could very well invite something into your life that you don't ever want. And so my biggest concern with these types of games is that they become so much of a trend that nobody really looks back and understands the seriousness of things like this. So I wanted to make a video letting you guys know, who may not have ever heard of this, what I'm hearing is happening. And if you're somebody who's perhaps actually heard of the game, please consider the risks of it prior to ever playing it. But yeah, I guess I just want to know if any of you have ever heard of this game. Is there a name for it? And have any of you been told to play it or know anybody who's played it? Let me know in the comments below. I think it's just so important anytime you're trying something new, period. Paranormal aside, anything in life. You want to make sure that you weigh out the pros and cons of things and you're really aware of what you're doing. And when you're drawing baths and lighting candles and staring into mirrors and calling out for anything to use them as portals and to please possess you, it's just so incredibly dangerous. And the craziest thing is, I kind of feel like from what I've heard about this specific challenge, is that in people using their cameras and their phones to tape it, maybe they're actually trying to just catch some sort of evidence or get something viral on camera, and it's just so not worth it. Because like I said, even though the chances of something like that happening, especially if you're filming, are very slim, it could happen. And when you think about things like possession or terrifying hauntings, yeah, in perspective, they're slim. The odds are slim. But it happened to somebody. And I just don't think you'd ever, ever want that somebody to be you. So just keep that in mind anytime you're peer pressured to play something. Know that you don't have to, and just really weigh out the pros and cons of things in all aspects of life, especially when it comes to peer pressure. What do you guys think of this game? Where do you think it came from, and why do you think people are doing it? Please let me know in the comments below. And that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would absolutely love and appreciate it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until tomorrow, I love you guys.